Hey, welcome to Coach's Corner, everyone. I'm your host, Coach Tripp, along with Blaze Winter, part of the four-wheel drive show we do every Wednesday night. Above me, Timmy Green and Blaze and Jamie Kimmel, and of course, Billy Pendock, who's on his way to Bethpage for the Ryder Cup this week, man. He loves that stuff, Blazer.
Man, I don't know about him, man. There's a 300-pound man who can lift the world, and he's chasing little round balls.
He shoots even. He can shoot even par too, man. 62 years old.
I've seen it in the swing, man. I cannot believe he can rotate that easily for that massive. I mean, he's a big man.
He's huge.
I mean, his hands are like double mine. I mean, he's a massive, really strong, powerful dude. And to see him be so graceful on a golf course is
I know.
It tells you what an athlete he really was.
Right.
It really tells you what kind of athlete he was. I mean, it's the same with watching Jamie or Tim when he was before ALS. I mean, those guys could all play. I mean, the worst one was me. I can't rotate. I'm a non-athlete. You know what I mean? And
you were the least athletic, yet you played 11 years in the NFL. That's an amazing
works, man. It really is funny what the Lord has in store for us. It really is.
Wow, that's great. All right, folks. This show is brought to you by Sandy Sansing Chevrolet. Go by and see the fine folks over there. Without my sponsors, this just wouldn't be possible. Also, Hill Kelly Dodge. We want to, let's get into today's show. It's I got some coaching points, and then I've got great coaching characteristics. We're going to dive in to what makes a great coach. I think I have about 10 of them. We're going to take them a couple at a time. But when I coached, even when I played, I hated to lose. I had a serious fear of being unprepared. Defeats to me were like more than mere losses. They were public evidence of personal failure, and I took them personally. Maybe that's why I'm a fierce competitor even in practice. A coach must convey this passion to his players and be enthusiastic in the pursuit with intensity. He must design competitions in practice like one-on-one drills and keep score for the wideouts and DBs. I used to make a game of it. A completed pass was 1 point for the offense, a touchdown 2 points for the offense, an incompletion was 1 for the defense, and an interception was 2 points for the defense. It's just a way to keep competition and intensity high. Now, start out with the first 3 characters of great coaches. Number 1, you got to have discipline. Without discipline, nothing follows. Nothing will be able to be a success. That's number 1. Number 2, enthusiasm, intensity. I believe a coach who has to love to be at practice. I used to walk on the field every single day and scream and say, it's a beautiful day for football. And to this day, I'll see guys that I coached 15, 20 years ago, and the first thing they say to me, Coach, it's a beautiful day for football. Number 3, knowledge. Know your craft inside and out. You got to read books from coaches, go to coaching clinics, observe and learn from the great coaches. Those are the first 3 characteristics of great coaches, Blaze. What do you think about
my thought about discipline is an additional quality that is important. You better be consistent with it. Being around a guy like George O'Leary, Jim Tressel, Dan Antonio, Pat Narduzzi. I've been around a lot of great coaches, and discipline, yes, it's there, but it is as consistent and a way of life as you could imagine. It's not even being disciplined just on the field. It's really being disciplined in the way you live your life. And to see these guys chase your ass and say, hey, man, you're not following what I'm asking you to follow, and see them get a little bit sharp in the corner of their eye, like, oh, boy, I don't want to mess with them. It's not necessarily that discipline comes with fear, but there's an understanding that he means what he says.
Right. Consistently, not just one day.
He delivers a meaningful belief that, man, this is a way of life. This is not just when I feel like it. I mean, you as a young player, well, I don't feel like it. And what does the coach say? Oh, well, I don't really care what you feel like. You have other people relying upon you, and you've got to do it the right way. Have some self-control and do it the right way. And I think that consistency is so important to a great coach. And speaking of enthusiasm, the person I immediately think of is Dabo Sweeney at Clemson. I mean, there's an enthusiastic, passionate, and I believe very sincere person who's lost his team. So enthusiasm, I think, has to be elaborated on as being very specific to a accomplishment, to a period of momentum. It can't be all the time. And my one criticism of a great coach, I believe, is, hey, man, you've got to learn to at times not be that and be the Tom Landry on the sideline and just sort of stare and be quiet and communicate to your team, I'm either happy, I'm not happy, or you don't know what I feel like. The unknown. Yeah. Just like O'Leary, we wish there was a little bit more. Hey, I'm enthusiastic. I'm excited about this. You could never tell when he was happy. He was always so driven. So I think enthusiasm, you have to play ebb and flow. You have to keep the player in a questionable state so they don't take advantage of you. And I think one of the greatest rosters in the country right now is on Clemson, and they are not performing up to that level. And I think that you have to look at the coaches first and say, hey, are they getting too comfortable with you? Are they expecting enthusiasm because they see it all the time from you? Are they expecting you to carry the load because you're always enthusiastic? Or is he willing to say, you carry it, you do it? Now, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, when we don't really see him, maybe that is his way, but it's a point on these qualities and characteristics that we're talking about today. And then knowledge, oh man, I've been around coaches in high school that have zero knowledge. And all they're doing is going to a clinic and they're learning about the zone offense in a matter of 1 hour. And now they're what? Oh, I know everything. And then you find out in these specific game conditions, you don't know nothing. And you don't know the most important part of the knowledge list, your personnel. Yeah. If so-and-so is this, who's going to go with him? It's like a great offensive lineman. I mean, great offensive linemen are a mixture of 4 other people right near that one. I mean, look at Philly. Look at the Detroit Lions. One guy, dynamic, I can't remember his name, 58. Other 4, they feed 58, and vice versa. Great offensive line, great defensive line.
Following leading. Yeah, it's about following and leading. You have to follow in order to actually become a leader.
Paulie, as you can tell, I love this subject.
Yeah, I know. And discipline is just doing the will of others and doing something you don't feel like doing that's good for you. That's discipline in a nutshell.
And that's tough to do, man.
Absolutely.
It's tough to do if you're young or you're our age. It's like, hey, man, do you get up every morning, Paulie, and stretch? Hell, I don't, and I know better. It's funny. You really need to be.
I do.
Who preaches it and then the one who actually does it. And you have to have someone spot you, meaning who spots me in my home now? Either my dog pulls me out of the bed or my wife says, you're cheating. And she's right. She's right. So, it's part of our lives in general. It's not just
the discipline. And the hardest part is getting down on the floor and starting to stretch. And that's the hardest part for me, discipline, getting down on the floor and stretching and doing my crunches. Once I do that, I'm good to go, man. I'm ready for my workout. Yep. All right. Communication and knowledge. It's critical, but how you get that message to the player. For a teacher and a coach, it's pretty much the same thing. You have to go through these protocols and don't skip one. Okay. Number one, explanation. You have to explain what you're doing, explain the drill, explain the reason, explain how it's done. Number two, demonstration. It should be done. It should be shown how to do it. A lot of coaches cannot demonstrate it. They might get their best player or a veteran to demonstrate it. But I stayed in shape and I would demonstrate all the drills to my players. Teachers do the same thing when they write an example on the board. Number three, participation. They got to try it. They got to try the drill. They got to try the problem on the board. Okay. So number four is correction. Okay. They're not going to get it right the first time usually. So you have to correct them and then make that and then try it again. Repetition. Okay. You have to do it over and over and over, whether it's the same kind of math problem on the board or same kind of drill on the football field. You have to repeat it over and over. And six is affirmation. You have to affirm the guy, affirm the positive learning with them. Say to them verbally, great job, or I'm proud of you. Physically, give them a high five, chest bump, fist bump, whatever they're doing now. Be sport specific. It's called specificity. Design drills that mimic the movement done in that particular sport. Let me say that again. Design drills that mimic the movement in that particular sport. Okay? That's the communication of knowledge is 3. 4, relationships. Show your players that you love them, and they will run through a brick wall for you. Okay? You have to talk to your players. You don't just tell them you love them. You have to show them. You talk to them. Tell them you have their back and you understand their struggles, okay? Let them know they can always come to you. The door is always open, and you can talk about issues, obstacles, problems, worries, fears, and that you'll be an advocate for them. You have their back. All right, let's talk about those two.
See, my feeling on some of this is, what pops into my mind is finding out that your coach is not what he seems to be. Coaches have to understand that maintaining momentum comes with a degree of being genuine. And a lot of times coaches, especially young, they're raised on almost like scripture, a Bible of, hey, do's and don'ts. And coaches have to understand, is this really who you are? Because we all deliver do's and don'ts differently. We all deliver them differently. So the most important ingredient to this communication and this following that you're trying to create is being genuine, being who you are. O'Leary wanted me to somewhat change the way I did drills. That's fine. If he attempted to change my personality, that is not. Eventually, Blaze, I can't work with you. Fire me. Fire me. I'm not going to be somebody, a phony.
Right.
If a phony represents you better, the players see right through it. It's almost like having a captain or a player on your team that does a lot of this. Come on, man. And everyone knows you can't be trusted. Why don't you shut your mouth? It's so beautiful to see genuine players and genuine coaches affect their peers. And great coaches have great leaders on the team that indirectly speak the same language, but within their own style.
Yes.
The dynamics of coaching are so. I mean, I've studied this. I've watched it. I've been around the best in the business, and I just love this subject because there's so much to it. It's not just, well, I read about it, now I can do it. No, man. Number one, stop cheating. Be who you are. And if you don't know something, the greatest coach is saying, I don't hell no, but I'll find out the answer. Or they'll say, shut up, man. Can't you see I don't know the answer? Move on to what we're doing.
Yeah, you know what? I saw Coach Bruce Arians on Pat McAfee show the other day. And, you know, he was talking about being authentic, okay? Just what you said. How the players want somebody to tell you the truth, even if it's the hard truth. And he would take the leaders on the team and bring them in and talk to them and say, what's the feeling of the team? Let's all be on the same page. What are the guys saying in the locker room? You know, how can we improve what we're doing as coaches? I mean, that's brilliant. I mean, I'm glad that Pat McAfee has Coach Arians on. He was at Alabama when I was there. Coach Bruce Arians was. Oh, cool. I'd love to get him on the show again, but we'll talk. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about
one thing that popped into my mind is game day. We all love game day. We really do. I mean, it's my weekly thing of Saturday morning, man. Let me tune into this panel of human beings. Right. And the beautiful part about that panel of human beings is some producer said, just be who you are. And they're letting the crazy man do what he does. They're letting Saban be who he is.
Yeah.
And you see over time, he started to loosen up, and then he pulls back because he realizes that, hey, man, the guy near him is a nut. He's not that nut. And then you put steady rocks around him that is a beautiful chemistry. Millions
they make it work. Yes. Just like you guys did on the 4-wheel drive with all the different personalities. You guys made it work and click, and so did they do at game day because they understand it. All right, let's go on to some more great coaching characteristics that need to be discussed. Number 6, have a sense of humor, man. You got to have fun with the kids.
Oh, man.
I gave my kids nicknames, and I did little things for them. Like I made a scrapbook for them at the end of the year and gave it to them at the banquet. You know, players and coaches, I think, should have fun. Number 7, Coach Bryant used the psychological response to these 3 scenarios. And believe me, they worked. If it worked for him, I believe it'll work for me, and that's what I did. Number 1, things go very good for your team. You, as the coach, give all the credit to the assistant coaches and players. Number 2, things go pretty good. You share in the credit with the coaches and players. And number 3, things go bad. You lose. You have to take all the blame. Every single bit of it. Don't be saying I didn't do a very good job, but I wasn't prepared. I didn't have my coaches prepared, but none of this but. You just stop right there and take all the blame. The guys will run through. Coach Bryant was a master psychologist, and but Coach Bryant's successor, Ray Perkins, I had him on my radio show, God rest his soul, before he passed away. And he told me right on the radio, he said, Paul, Coach Bryant wasn't an expert at X's and O's, but he was a master motivator. He made me take note of how important motivation is in football. And he suggested that every guy that wants to get into coaching should have at least a minor in psychology.
Well said. Well said. It's so true. And I want to touch base on humor. I think when young players come to the field, they have a tendency to be tight. They have a tendency to force stuff. They have a tendency to always try to feel out, what do you want from me? What you need to give them every now and then is a allowance to breathe. Humor is about breathing. It is an allowance to be mentally away from the pressure for
Right.
30 seconds.
Yes.
5 seconds. Now you go up the ladder, you have a little bit more of that. You see a little bit more of that at the varsity and at college level. By the NFL, guys are laughing. Guys are passing the buck.
Yeah.
They're passing gas. They're throwing up, and other people are laughing. Why are you throwing up? Or, hey, man, let's use the four-wheel drive. Who is the humorist of the group? We all know Billy Pendot. Billy Pendot made me a great player because he gave me the right to breathe when I swear to God I was going to suffocate,
Yup.
not breathing. And he gave every one of us a smile when we weren't smiling.
Yes.
I remember him. Oh man, I'm going to get in trouble because he's not here. But I remember him with, being very proud of certain parts of his body and not wearing covering over certain parts of his body, and how he would make the punter laugh from that position behind him at certain part of the body that it would be exposed. Now, I've said enough. I don't want to get in any more trouble. But, man,
Right.
Billy's a master at knowing, hey, man, we got to loosen up if we want to play well.
Right.
That gave me that man for such a clear reason. I could breathe. I could become more. I could feed the proper parts of me, and I could remove the beast of concern and becoming over dramatic in what if I don't do it right? What if I don't do it right? Young players need to have a allowance. It has to come from a coach, but it also has to come from peers.
Right. Right.
You don't assign the best athlete. You assign the captain a position of, hey man, can you communicate with the team? Can you get them to loosen up?
Right.
Get them to perform, because great athletes perform when they're loose.
Yes.
I'll transition to one more thing. Create in your players a go-to, what I call creed, that clears their mind and gets them back to the game plan or the down and distance or in that moment. Sometimes players drift. We had a creed at UCF, and that creed was, will you fight? Immediately the D-line was turn and look at me, and they would respond, fight I will. And it grounded them in the belief that, number one, they weren't alone. I'm not leaving you, brothers. I'm not leaving you. I might be a coach, but I'm not leaving you. I want you to know I see things, and I need to call you together because we're starting to divide. And a creed is a wonderful thing to create in your positional people like O-line and D-line. And there's a whole bunch one day I'll read to you on the air, but the punchline was, hey, will you fight? I went by a baseball field walking my dog the other day. This father that has become a friend of mine out in this park was a pro baseball player. He's practicing with his son and baseball. His son's about, 11, 12 years old. And his son, according to the father, read my book. So I turned around and I yelled out, will you fight? And the young boy, who doesn't know me from Adam, responds, fight I will. And immediately what happens after that, a smile comes on his face. And his father said, I told you he would know.
That's a good story. Hey,
feeling when you could draw people together, and sometimes you need a little creed, a little buzzword or phrase.
Something to break up the pressure too.
Player to one another.
Yeah, I got a few comments about that. Number one, I got like three of them. Number one, Preston Gothard made me laugh at Alabama when times were tough and I couldn't make the traveling squad for 2 years.
That's that guy right there.
He made me laugh. You got to have one of those guys like he was my Billy Pendock. Number 2.
Remember those? Hey, Paulie, remember the double sessions, triple sessions?
Yeah.
They don't even have those anymore. Sometimes you felt like what? Running for the hill and going home.
Right.
And man,
right.
thank God Billy was there.
Humor breaks it up. Humor breaks it up.
Yeah,
Number 2, I was coaching at Catholic, and I would always say before a big game to my DBs, hey guys, we know what to do. Let's just go out there and have fun. That's all I want you to do is have fun. And I got a letter from one of those kids saying that just calmed him down before every big football game, and it gave him the calm sense. Number 3, Kenny Stabler.
Hey, what were the punch words? We know what we could do. Oh, that's a great line.
Yeah.
We know what we could. What a go-to line that settles everybody down into.
It takes the pressure off them. There's another pressure release. Now these come in critical times in the game. Could be the end of the game, 2-minute drill. But let me tell you a couple stories that I learned and I applied in my coaching. Kenny Stabler. I was sitting 2005, first year of coaching, sitting at a banquet with Kenny at Alabama Banquet. And he called me coach. And I thought that was the weirdest thing because I just became a coach, right? And he told me he always wanted to be a coach. And I said, Kenny, I read your book. I said, tell me about the time in the playoffs when you're going down the field. And he told me the story. They're driving down for a winning, at the end of the game. Madden, he goes off to the sideline, and John Madden's pacing back and forth. And he says, Coach, he says, I just looked up in the stands, and I said, boy, these people are getting their money's worth today, aren't they, Coach? Yeah. And he went nuts. He was like, what are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. But that Kenny was and Tom Brady did the same thing. Tom Brady saw John Candy in the fans one time, and during a playoff game, may have been the Super Bowl, and he said in the huddle, hey, you guys see John Candy over there? Now that is releasing the high tension pressure and reframing it into a fun challenge. That's all it is. Reframing it into a fun challenge. So those 3 points, thanks for bringing it up and reminding me those 3 points. All right, let's continue on. We got 3 more left. I'm going to go through these and then we'll talk about them. Team first. Great coach. Number 8, team first. The coach has to stress the team comes first, even before the coach. The team is the most important. We must protect it. Never get a personal foul. If a guy takes a swing at you, refrain from for the good of the team. Retaliation will cost your team not only a penalty, but your suspension will hurt your team, your parents, your coaches, your school. I would tell my players it's a selfish thing to do. That kind of response would not be putting the team first. Always stress the team interests that are bigger than themselves. Thus, they become accountable to their teammates. Because you got to remember, a cause bigger than yourself is more powerful than money, fame, material things, sex, anything. When you talk about these things to these players, they do have an impact. And in 16 years of coaching DBs, I'm proud to say I think I only had 2 ever get a personal foul. I went to a high school game the other day, and there were 6 before halftime in one game. I was livid. I was giving everybody in the stands, I was giving a sermon to on how that's unacceptable because you have to respect the other team. I got a text from one of my players from years ago, and he said, Coach, I'll never forget when you said respect the other team because you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They're in the same boat that you are. They're here for the same reasons you are. He said, I always remember that. And I have to tell the guys, listen, you respect females too. I tell them you won't want somebody to disrespect your mother or your sister. So treat them like you would want your mother or your sister to be treated, because if I hear otherwise, you're off the team. And number 10, set goals. As a defensive coordinator, we used to have 10 defensive goals. Each game we'd attempt to achieve. And post them in the locker room and review them on Monday after every game. Now, I'm a big believer in helmet stickers. George O'Leary did it at Liverpool.
Yes, he
The only
did.
time we ever got any attaboys. I don't know why high school coaches in this area or anywhere don't do helmet stickers. Just these little footballs on your helmet. You wouldn't believe the kind of motivation it gives kids. I think Pace High School still does it to this day here in Pensacola, but they're about the only one.
Well, the thing that pops into my mind with these last few points is where are we at as a society when it comes to just displaying appreciation for one another? We're not doing very well. We're being fed over and over and over by thoughtless human beings, thoughtless directors and producers that we just want to titillate. And we don't want to even think about, well, how it affects people. We just want to titillate, cause a stir, and then they can figure it out on their own. Football's still one of those places. It's one of the last places where you say, stop right there. You need to what? Understand that you're nothing without the person near you. Stop right there, and you need to apologize, or you need to be forgiven. You need to forgive him. It's one of the few places we can teach those values.
Right.
And then we term it team. And without team, you are no one. Without that demonstration of appreciation and forgiveness and reminders, we're nothing to one another. If you want to just be titillating, go ahead and spit on the other guy. Go ahead and what? Highlight it over and over. There has to be some coach that points out, you know how wrong that is?
Right.
And it's not only wrong to the people that wear the same color jersey. It's wrong to anyone on the football field because you're what? Being taught the same way you are. It is disrespectful. It is making a joke of the profession. The man should be told, see the locker room, go get dressed. You are done. We are not going to tolerate disrespecting your teammates, your coaches, the parents, the community, the people you play against. And we see it more and more and more being tolerated because, Joe's our best running back.
Yeah.
We need Joe.
Yeah.
No, you don't need anyone to destroy. The beauty of football is, look how unified they are. Marv Levy pointed this out to me years ago more than anyone with such grace, and he was so articulate. What a master communicator. Yeah. I mean, he just pointed out, man, that we are nothing if we don't respect the person near us. And we don't respect not just the people wearing the colors that we wear, but play against us, try to take away what we want. If we respect them, we have more of a chance to control them. And my God, man, I believe
that's good stuff.
I'm forever grateful to O'Leary, so many great people.
Yeah.
I think coaches, especially with young players, had to be told, no, we're not tolerating this. We're not going to put up with this. And the NFL and the NCAA, no, we're not tolerating this. Get off the field.
Right.
We're not going to dish on other people, and hopefully that brings about at least an awareness of, if you do lose control, later on you're telling somebody, I'm really sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
Yeah, we were so lucky, Blaze, because you and I both weren't the best students. We weren't the best citizens, but football has really shaped our lives, man. And I want to read this. I just got my Sports Illustrated September issue, and I want to read these 2 points because
swimsuit edition.
Yeah, there's not the swimsuit edition. Barkley, Saquon Barkley's on the cover. Listen to this. This spring, this very spring, this past spring. Saquon Barkley scribbled down 4 goals this season. His uncle, the boxer Iran Barkley, used to tape his goals list to the bathroom mirror so he would see them when he brushed his teeth. At the suggestion of the Eagles team psychologist, Barkley started doing visualization exercises before games. He pictured himself in a situation. Now, let me say, next week, let's talk about visualization. Because I started using it in college, and it's an amazing technique. Not a lot of people know about it, but let me tell you, I was just watching on the History Channel, Jim Thorpe, Lit by Lightning, it's called. I read the book by David Moranis, A Path Lit by Lightning. His name was Wathohuk, which means path lit by lightning. Indian name. When he was born that night, there was thunderstorms and lightning. So, he was a DB. I'm a DB. I got hit by lightning when I was a kid. So, I'm really interested in Jim Thorpe. But I'd recommend you watching that show on History Channel, or even better, reading David Moranis' book. And he talks about how Jim Thorpe was visualizing on the ship on the way over to the 1912 Stockholm games. He was visualizing, and everybody couldn't understand what he was doing. And he went on to win like 3 of the 5 pentathlon events. 4 of the, I think he won 5 or 6 of the decathlon. He just blew everybody out of the water, man. His feats were, he was the best athlete ever. But next week we're going to talk about visualization. Blaze, what a great show, man! Thank you for stepping in.
I love it. I'll be with you, Billy. I hope you travel safely.
Yeah.
And that little white ball pull you into a hole somewhere. You stay out of trouble, you big monster. We all miss you, Tim. We love you. Jamie Kimmel, you guys are the best. Forever, my brothers. And Trip, I really love you, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Blazer. I love you, man. So salute out to the 4-wheel drive guys, to Timmy and them. God bless them. See you, buddy. See you next week. So long. Wow, Blaze Winter, 11-year NFL vet, come out of nowhere. The last person to get a scholarship at Syracuse, George O'Leary led him on, and all four of these guys were NFL players at Syracuse, or in the NFL, and most of them are all American. I know Timmy and Blaze was. But thanks for watching 4-Wheel Drive. Hope you got something out of the show. If you like it, share it. Stay tuned for these great messages. Without these sponsors, this just wouldn't be possible. So long, everybody.
When it comes to buying your next car, truck, or SUV, you need a team that puts you first. Here at the Sandy Sansing dealerships, we're proud to serve Pensacola and the Gulf Coast with the best selection, trusted service, and deals that work for your family. Just like great coaches build great teams, Sandy Sansing builds lasting relationships with every customer who walks through our doors. Because when it comes to finding your next vehicle, there's only one name to remember. Sandy Sansing can.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
When it comes to buggies and golf carts, nobody does it like Buggy Works. Hi, I'm JP Wibbs. We've got the largest selection of golf carts on the Gulf Coast. We have a brand new 10,000 square foot state-of-the-art service center and showroom to keep you rolling. We're right here in the heart of Car City at 5831 Pensacola Boulevard. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, Saturdays 9 to 3. Check us out at buggyworks.com. Buggy Works. Come by and see why we're the #1 Denago dealer in the nation.
My name is Steve Reynolds. I'm the manager and owner of Cordova Lanes, and we help keep your mind out of the gutter. Cordova Lanes is part of the community of Pensacola. Being here for 43 years, we've entertained more people than any other bowling center in the city. We sell fun for a living. Cordova Lanes is located at 2111 Airport Boulevard in Pensacola behind Cordova Mall. Come on out and see us at Cordova Lanes Bowling Center. Thank you.
For over 30 years, you have seen the orange Beck signs all over the Gulf Coast listing a property for sale or lease. Beck Partners is your trusted advisor in commercial real estate, property management, commercial and personal insurance. Senior Vice President David Valletto has been with Beck Partners since 1989. Take advantage of his wealth of knowledge by calling him today at 982-7352. 982-7352. Extensive experience in all aspects of leasing, sales, management, and site selection will make sure your expectations are exceeded.
75 years of service in high tech today. It's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348. High tech is a term often applied to advanced services and products in today's marketplace. And today, glass is much more than a simple pane of brittle, see-through stuff we hit baseballs through when we were kids. Glass is now a product with unique flexibility in both performance and application. And Pensacola Glass Company is growing right along. That's Pensacola Glass Company at 433-8348.
Are you riding around in a filthy vehicle? Dirty car no more. Visit Ronnie's Car Wash today to get it shining in no time. They have 3 convenient locations with another coming soon. The unlimited monthly wash packages start as low as $14.95 per month with free vacuums, multi-purpose spray and towels. Visit them in Gulf Breeze, Navarre, Fort Walton, and soon Crestview. Don't wait, wash today. Be sure to see Ronnie's Car Wash on Facebook to see the latest specials and discounts. You'll be riding and shining in no time.
There's a reason why Hill Kelly in Pensacola is the #1 selling Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealer between Jacksonville and New Orleans. While other dealers have taken advantage of a competitive market with higher prices, Hill Kelly has discounted prices to the lowest of the year. And Hill Kelly in Pensacola won't surprise you with excessive charges beyond the selling price. Come see why people from Milton, Pace, Foley, Bay Minette, Daphne, Gulf Shores, Mobile, and beyond are driving to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to buy their next new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram. At Hill Kelly, the bottom line price and your satisfaction are what really matter. So before you sign, check the bottom line and make the trip to Hill Kelly in Pensacola to see what true local ownership can do for you. At Hill Kelly Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Highway 29 in Car City, Pensacola. Or shop online 24/7 at hillkellydodge.com. When it comes to bottom line pricing, nobody beats a Hill Kelly deal. Nobody.